Allen has done a really nice job leading the first unit for Vegas. Jackie Young has been a monster off the bench. Carolyn Swords had a contusion in her leg, but is good to go tonight for Vegas. And for Chicago, they will not have the services of Cheyenne Parker tonight. That's a key loss. She's been playing very well this season. So instead, it'll be Azurá Stevens, Stephanie Dolson, who have to step up in the front court for a Chicago team that is led by the talented backcourt duo of Courtney Vandersloot and Allie Quigley. Vegas 8-2, Chicago 7-4, and it's Chicago who wins the tip. Talking with James Wade today, who's very mindful of how fatigued his team is at this moment as Stevens hits a jumper to begin things, saying, hey, we're in a stretch of 10 games in 19 days. So we didn't have the 2 off days like Vegas just had. As McBride flips it in for Vegas, one of those role players. But so it'll be interesting to see, Rebecca, how that plays out in this game. Vegas having finally back-to-back off days, and Chicago clearly feeling like it needs some rest.
Especially because Vegas is a team that likes to push the pace, whether it's on a defensive board or off of a steal. You see it right here. They will push in transition. They will try to get touches in the paint.
Allen will take a 3 and hit. They do not shoot many of them, but Lindsay Allen hits from 3. And now Allen on the steal. Just what you're talking about, Rebecca.
And there were times in the first matchup between these teams, as you see Angel McCautry hoist the 3, where Chicago's turnovers led to easy buckets the other way for Vegas. They thrive in transition.
Good fake from Azurá Stevens, who hits the jumper. And James Wade said with confidence to us today, look, Azuré's struggled a little bit over these recent games, but she's going to be better tonight.
Yeah, and she played really well in the first matchup between these teams, particularly in the first half, where she was able to get her scoring going. A long player who can step out, has range. You saw her just put the ball on the floor as well and hit the pull-up, and you see the numbers right there. She came out really strong. You know, she didn't play very many games last year because of injury, and James Wade said, you know, it took a few games, but now defenses know how to scout her and force her to get out of her comfort zone a bit.
Also thought maybe she got worn down a little bit through all the relying upon her early, as McBride misses the 3. McCautry on the offensive rebound. A second try will go.
But you know, James Wade has to be pleased with his defense, because 3 possessions that Vegas has taken 3-point shots, that's not what they do. They drive inside, they pass inside to their bigs, they score inside.
Quigley, nice little dip through the lane for the bucket. Well, to your point, Vegas last in the league in 3-point attempts by far. And they are first in the league in points in the paint as Angel gets to the paint.
That's what they do. They drive to the basket, primarily Angel McCautry.
That was partially blocked, and Stevens able to gather it. We have a whistle here.
Angel McCautry still has that quick first step and has a knack for finding her way to the basket. Successful doing that on the last possession, but hey, A'ja Wilson not getting a touch yet on the offensive end for Vegas. I don't like that. I don't think A'ja does either.
Vandersloot can't reverse it in. There's A'ja getting a touch on the rebound. A 9-6 lead in the early going for Las Vegas. 7 straight wins for the Aces. McCautry to the reverse, can't flip it in.
And you heard Holly's report at the beginning. They sent 2 bodies to Angel McCautry, and when she got in the paint, there was a 3rd waiting for her.
Down the floor, McCautry will lay it in. And Vegas turning defense into transition action. Already an 8-2 edge, points in the paint for Vegas. McCautry has 6 points, and I'm sure Angel was helped out by those 2 days off as Vandersloot scoots to the rim.
Yeah, that's what Chicago does offensively. They space you out because all of their players on the floor can make threes and at least driving lanes. Vandersloot taking advantage the last possession.
Allen just fired a bullet into Wilson. Wilson fights for it. A'ja Wilson draws the whistle, insisting her way inside.
And we saw it last time, or 2 possessions ago with Angel McCoughtry. The second A'ja Wilson catches, look at how many blue bodies around her. 4. They have 4 people guarding her. James Wade was not kidding. They are going to flood the paint when A'ja Wilson catches the ball or when Angel McCoughtry does.
You could call it Blue Woman Group.
Oh, no.
He's rolling early. James Wade, last year's Coach of the Year. Always so insightful to chat with. And definitely, you can tell, feels like his team could use a breather at some point in the near future.
He made a comment about, you know, Vegas got to go on a fishing trip on their off day on Sunday. There's no fishing for Chicago right now.
A 13-8 lead for Vegas in the early going. Here is Stevens raising up, can't hit. Rebound Swords. Jackie Young into the game for Las Vegas. Wow, what a tear she has been on. The 2019 #1 overall pick. Right now, an early favorite for 6th Woman of the Year. A'ja Wilson gets it to drop off back iron.
And again, Chicago flooding the paint, but A'ja just really good to stop and rise and fire.
Dolson will chuck and hit.
Again, all 5 players for Chicago on the offensive end can shoot and make threes.
Stephanie Dolson suffered an ankle injury in the opener against Vegas. Chicago missed her while she was gone and still getting her conditioning back some. As I believe this is going to be an offensive foul called against A'ja Wilson. Make it Jackie Young who's called for the offensive foul.
You talk about Stephanie Dolson. Not only does she shoot threes at a good clip, she's an excellent screener and a very, very good passer.
Quigley off the curl. Couldn't hit. Dearica Hamby into the game for Las Vegas. McBride, the leaner, well, isn't good, but a foul. And Kayla McBride will go to the line.
And this is what it was one of the things that's interesting for Vegas is they bring their players off the bench that give them a ton of energy. Jackie Young, Dearica Hamby, Danielle Robinson when she comes in, and you got a Chicago Sky that's limited in numbers, and they aren't going to be able to sub the way Vegas can sub. Will this take its toll as the game goes on?
McBride hits the first. Bill Lambier has said Kayla McBride is coming along. Confidence is growing, finding a good comfort zone. She had been a little slow to catch up conditioning-wise at the start of the season, but when she gets going, she is another player to be reckoned with on this Aces team.
She looks more fit every game that we see her.
Dolson putting it on the deck, getting the step inside of Wilson, just couldn't finish it. And here comes Vegas. Danielle Robinson gets hip checked. And they're going to call a timeout rather than a foul there, I believe. So the timeout awarded before contact. We'll step aside.
ESPN's coverage of the WNBA is brought to you by AT&T 5G and Taco Bell. Order.
Well, coming up at halftime today, we are so honored that we will speak to Professor Kimberly Crenshaw, who is the founder of the Say Her Name movement. She founded the African American Policy Forum in 1996, and before every game this week, she is being a moment of honor for the players as they learn more about her and her policies and discussions to make sure that the often forgotten victims of police brutality, Black women, are constantly being remembered and that they are continuing to say her name. We cannot wait to have her conversate with LaChina Robinson coming up at the half.
Yeah, Holly, really looking forward to that conversation between Kimberly Crenshaw and LaChina Robinson. So make sure you guys stick around at the half to hear that in its entirety. Jackie Young from 3, no. you're right, Rebecca. Far more attempts from three than we're used to seeing from Vegas. And yet still a 17-11 lead.
And Vegas has had success when they've gotten in the paint. So I think sometimes when they're taking those threes, those are settled.
Boy, how about the initial defense? But then Azare Stevens sticking with the play. 6 points early for Azare. McBride traveled and Vegas turns it over.
And there it was a switch that was in Vegas's favor because Allie Quigley was stuck on Asia Wilson, but they never got to the basketball.
Shaggy Bill Lambier with the beard and the hair and the headband. We talked to him today about balancing superstition with the need to groom. And he has said he wants to get a haircut, but his team has vetoed it for the time being.
It's not his superstition, it's his team's and
Right.
fans' superstition. They don't want him to get it cut while they're on this win streak, but he really wants his hair cut.
He's like, I'm not superstitious at all.
He was going to get it cut Monday, but there were no appointments left.
Yep.
Today's game day, he wasn't going to sacrifice his nap, and now the fans don't want him to.
Exactly. It's given everyone time now to mount a verbal defense of the shagginess, as McBride just can't finish on the inside. And now McBride comes up with a steal. Third turnover of the quarter for Chicago. Young working with Wilson. Here is Young, back to Wilson. Wilson's face off the mark. Quick trigger from Quigley. Whoa. Rare do you see Allie Quigley miss like that. Danielle Robinson, De'Erica Hamby, Jackie Young, Kayla McBride, Asia Wilson, the 5 on the floor for Vegas as Hamby hits the 3.
This is so interesting to me because this is not Vegas's identity at all. They get in the paint, they get to the free throw line. How many threes have they taken, Ryan?
Taking 5 in the quarter. They usually average 10 for the game. Another bucket for Azare Stevens, who now has 8 points in the quarter.
She's broken out of a shooting slump in a big way.
Hamby through the lane, can't scoop it in. And the rebound controlled by Stevens, who has been a very active body in this first quarter for Chicago. Good hands by Robinson and better ones from Jackie Young. Here comes Young. Hastily up the floor. Her leaner won't go, but a foul, and Jackie Young is going to shoot 2.
Jackie Young has been such a presence off of the bench for Vegas in their last 6 games. And Bill Lambier has been encouraging her to look for her offense, to take the mid-range jumper. That's really where her strength lies.
Let's take a look at the upcoming schedule for CBS Sportsnet and their national TV schedule. Tomorrow night, Atlanta at Washington. Thursday, doubleheader, Chicago and the Liberty. Connecticut, who's playing much better in Vegas. For more on these games, please go to WNBA.com or visit the WNBA app. Well, to your point, Rebecca, courtesy of the Elias Sports Bureau, as Chicago gets their substitution, Jackie Young with 15 or more points off the bench in 5 straight games. That is the second longest streak of its kind in WNBA history. The only longer streak, Candace Wiggins did it 7 straight in 2008. And Jackie's one of 4 players now who've done it 5 straight. So that's serious production off the bench in this stretch.
She has been great off the bench. Danielle Robinson, De'Erica Hamby.
Good hands, McCautry on the knockaway. What a find, Young to a streaking Robinson, and there is that connection. Five turnovers in the quarter for Chicago, and that's going to be 6.
Man, Vegas, when they turn you over so quick getting the other way, and Jackie Young, her head is up, and Danielle Robinson brings quickness and speed end to end.
Boy, James Wade is not happy with his team right now. Understandably so. This is a lot of careless turnovers right now from Chicago. Perhaps tired turnovers.
Yeah.
Nice cut. Young inside. Ducks in for two. Good find by Hamby. And about an 8-second difference game in shot clock. 10-point Vegas lead. Simon DeShields short on a three. Rebound Rogers. Vegas can hold for one. You could hear Phil Lampier yelling, one shot, one shot, one shot. 7 seconds left in the quarter. Young with 5. Young. Travel. And Vegas turns it over. You can hear Bill Lampier saying,
yes.
Go with a purpose.
Yes. Know what you're trying to do. Read the defense. Put pressure on them. You got that sense from Jackie Young that she was just moving.
DeShields. If she got it off, it'll count, but it will not. They'll look at it, but for now, the bucket will not count. They'll say it was after the buzzer. They will review it for the Aces with a big first quarter.
And a big making threes and a guard finishing inside. Role reversal, you gotta love it.
Welcome back. We are here with Aces Jackie Young. And Jackie, early in that first quarter, you guys were taking a lot of threes. That's not necessarily your identity. How did you get more aggressive driving inside the lane?
Yeah, I think by just being aggressive on defense and getting rebounds so we can go in transition and do what we like to do.
You did go in transition, 7 points off of their turnovers. How was that really a big factor?
Yeah, that's the way we like to play. We like to get up and down and play in transition, so we just have to play good defense so we're able to go in transition.
Thanks, Jackie.
Thank you.
Well, Vegas certainly did take advantage of Chicago's sloppiness in that first quarter. Vegas looking for its 8th straight win. Chicago has alternated wins and losses over their last 7 games, and they won their last one, so they'd be due for their loss if they keep with the trend as they start the second with the first bucket of the game for Kalia Copper.
Yeah, Kalia Copper is going to need to come alive because Vegas takes away your inside game. Mid-range will be there as you see Angel slicing right to the basket again.
She really looks spry to begin this game. And one of the things Bill Lampier's been very conscious of is the minutes of Angel McCautry. As DeShields can't finish, rebound Swords.
Yeah, he said, you know, you play 3-minute stretches and she can pretty much always feel like she has that burst because she's rested.
And hits again. Angel McCautry has come out sharp. Nice little dump inside. And a good finish from Ruthie Hebert on the pass from Vandersloot. McCautry doesn't get the roll that time. And Chicago loses it out of bounds. Let's take a listen to Angel McCautry talking about being more efficient.
You know, that just comes with growth. You know, you're young, you have all the energy in the world. You can play basketball all day and not get tired, but it's something about when you get over 30, you know, you got to find other ways to keep it going, you know, and you got other young girls flying around. So I think being efficient is key, you know, at this stage in my life. And, you know, I don't have to run around anymore. But it's about the efficiency in the game and the preparation before.
You know, Bill Lambier talked about her patience, and he said when she was younger, she didn't have the patience she has now. And he said she knows that the ball is going to be coming back her way. And career highs in field goal percentage, 3-point percentage, career low in turnovers per game for Angel.
What a nice set run there and a gorgeous delivery. Asia Wilson to Danielle Robinson. Dolson tees it up and knocks it down. Good looking stroke from Stephanie Dolson. McCautry gives it up. In the corner, Sugar Rogers can't hit the three. Now, she is one of the few three-point shooters on this Vegas team as McCautry comes up with a rejection at the rim.
Well, you talk to Bill Lambier, you know, they want to play inside out because they have such strong post players. But he'll remind you, we have snipers as well. You see this block by Angel McCautry, and she's one of the players that this year, because she's shooting 50% from three, would be considered a sniper. Nice cut by Diamond DeShields down the lane. And of course, if you're open, Courtney Vandersloot will find you.
Vandersloot, 5 assists already tonight. Seven to shoot. Wilson's jumper, too strong, and a little momentum here for Chicago. DeShields steps into a three. No. Nice box out from Asia Wilson. Her 5th rebound of the quarter. Excuse me, of the half. Young wanted the foul and got it. Jackie Young, savvy, gets back to the line.
Stay with it. Stay with it.
Jackie Young at the line for the Aces, shooting 2.
This is a clear message, man.
It is, it's great to see a young player who was the #1 pick a season ago, finding her way. She started, and then this year coming in off the bench. Took her a little bit of time, but now embracing the role and has a clear impact on her team, in particular in the wins.
Yeah, you can see the disparity in the numbers. For more on Jackie Young, let's hop inside the Wubble to Holly Rowe.
Well, Bill Lambier has really been working with Jackie Young, and it's a great lesson in what he sees in players when he drafts them. You know, a lot of people were curious that she went #1 overall, but he could see that she is unstoppable. When she gets going down the lane, she's big, she's strong, she can score, and Jackie has finally tapped into that herself. She's very difficult to guard, her speed and her strength, and she turns it over there just when we're talking nicely about her. Dang it.
But, Holly, I think it's a really interesting and good point because, Rebecca, you had asked Bill Lambier the question earlier this year, like, has she been what you thought she was when you drafted her? Because you already had Kelsey Plum, and it may not have been an obvious fit with the roster, but obviously Plum not playing this year because of injury, and either way, Bill said yes, absolutely.
And one of the things he pointed to last year and again this year is she's the best post passer on the team. And when you have Asia Wilson on the team, and last year Liz Cambage, you need people to get them the basketball.
I think the other part of it we've seen, I mean, Holly was talking about the strength of Jackie Young, her ability to defend too.
Yes.
To be a presence on that end of the floor as well. A 9-point Vegas lead will step aside. 5:44 to go in the second quarter.
ESPN's coverage of the WNBA.
Thursday, we'll have 4 NBA playoff Game 2s and the draft lottery. We start at 1 Eastern with the Heat and Pacers, then Thunder Rockets, followed by the Magic and Bucks. Then it's the lottery at 8:30 Eastern, 5:30 Pacific, and we wrap up with the Trailblazers and Lakers. Everything is on ESPN, ESPN Deportes, and the ESPN app. Second quarter action between the Sky and the Aces. Vegas, an early 9-point lead. Let's check in with Holly.
Well, we told you at the top of the game about the James Wade Chicago Sky defensive philosophy tonight to play 5-on-2, meaning Asia Wilson and Angel McCautry. That plan has worked to some extent on Asia Wilson, just 4 points and only 1 field goal. But the missing factor is Angel McCautry with 10 points. The other Las Vegas players aren't necessarily carrying the load and making up that difference. However, they do have a lead. Jackie Young with 5 points off the bench has been a spark.
Yeah, and she's consistently been that for them of late, Holly, as Azurá Stevens has been the brightest spot thus far tonight for Chicago.
And while Asia Wilson's drawing a lot of attention on the defensive end, some of that is her teammates. They need to do a better job with her. There were times where she's gone to set screens and instead they've passed her the ball. There's been some miscommunication. Sometimes you have to help your superstar to really flourish.
Young can't hit. 7-point Vegas lead. Quigley Gives it up. Stevens can't knock it down from three. How about Azurá Stevens? She nearly got to that rebound before anybody else. She released that shot.
Shooters know better than anyone where it's coming off, though.
McBride rattles in a jumper, and she's had some more looks in this first half. 6 points now for Caleb McBride. Nice smooth stroke from Allie Quigley, the three-time WNBA All-Star. Wilson draws two, passes out of it. Vegas wasn't really spaced well out of that double.
Yeah.
Young, well, that was a nifty move by Young, but then Quigley able to reject her without contact. And Vandersloot dishes underneath the dime on the money to Ruthie Heber. Chicago back within 5. 9 first half assists for Courtney Vandersloot.
The player who leads the WNBA in assists is already above her average in the first half alone.
Well, James Wade was very honest about his team facing fatigue right now, yet they're in the middle of a stretch in which they're playing 10 games in 19 days. You look at that compared to the same stretch last season where there was 8 more off days. Nice play out of the timeout drawn up by Bill Lambier as McBride scoops it in.
And not only the toll that takes on your body in terms of fatigue, but it limits your ability to practice. You know, they're watching film, they're walking through things, but teams are not practicing on those off days.
Quigley tiptoes the three, can't hit. Wilson the board, nice feed. Lindsay Allen to a running Hamby.
I love that Hamby gets out and runs the floor the way she does, and she puts her arm up for a target so the guard knows right where to land the basketball.
Hamby last season's 6th Woman of the Year. Vegas a +8 in the paint. Azurá Stevens missed it badly again from 3, and it's out of bounds to Vegas.
This is what Vegas does on you. Whether they turn you over or get the board, they are looking to push. And Dearica Hamby brings so much energy in off the bench. She never gets tired. She will continue to run and run.
This Vegas team, despite not having Plum, not having Cambage, still so deep, so talented. Looking for their 8th straight win. McCautry through the lane, forces it in. Angel McCautry with 12 first half points.
Allie Quigley had completely left her player, shadowing over to Asia Wilson, but still wasn't enough to stop Angel McCautry.
Quigley's 3 is good. Allie Quigley has shot it at least 40% from 3 each of the last 3 seasons. It's going to be an offensive foul. Angel extended that right arm and did it in view of the officials.
One thing Chicago has done better of late is, 1, not turn the basketball over, but 2, stop fouling and putting Vegas to the free throw line. Vegas does such a good job putting pressure on you and getting the refs to blow the whistle.
Copper lost it.
And now they turned it over. Watch them foul.
Wilson kicks it. Allen through the lane, curls it in. The Vegas guards getting to the rim these last few possessions. And a foul underneath against Angel. And Angel saying, she's holding my arm, she's holding my arm.
Angel was fighting, though, because on the switch, she got stuck on Stephanie Dolson. That's going to be a really hard guard for Angel McCautry.
Second foul on Angel.
It could have been, too. Like, Stephanie Dolson knows the old school tricks.
I think that's what Bill Lambier is trying to say. So now Angel will have to be a little careful here. That leaner is good.
Courtney Vandersloot with 10 assists in the first half.
Absolutely incredible. Angel forced it, wanted a whistle, didn't get it. Here comes Chicago. 4 on 3. Copper to the reverse, spins it in.
Azrae Stevens cutting through the lane, draws the defender so Kalia Copper can cut the other way and be open.
And Vegas will take another timeout. They don't want things slipping away at the end of this half after they... Well, Bill Lambier is wired for sound tonight.
Let's go. Let's go. I can give a lead back to him right now. No, thank you. Come on, it's all about concentration. It's all about confidence and concentration right now. Take the hits. Professional basketball.
I think there he was specifically talking to Angel McCautry. She was frustrated on one end of the floor, you know, talked to the ref a little bit, and that's when Chicago went the other way, had numbers and scored.
Second timeout in the last few minutes Bill Lambier's had to take after Vegas had controlled almost this entire first half. Vandersloot with 10 assists in the first half. Dolson could have given her 11, but couldn't finish. Here comes Allen. Vegas can hurry into a 2-for-1 if they want to, and Allen will do just that. Lindsay Allen, second three of the half. She has 8 points, 4 assists.
Just love how heads up she was in recognizing the 2-for-1, Ryan.
9 to shoot. Dolson, the ball fake. The leaner rolls off. The putback is good.
She's had some really good minutes offensively in the first half.
And a foul called against Chicago. They had one to give. But it is the second on Vandersloot.
Jackie, take it out. Could you look at that one and the one that went out of bounds on her earlier that y'all gave to them? Yeah, the out of bounds right here on the sideline. Can you look at both of those? Yeah.
James Wade telling the refs what he wants them to look at in the locker room at half.
That's right. 1 second left. Hamby gives it up. McBride can't hit. And that will do it for the first half. The Aces seeking their 8th straight win, led by Angel McCautry. 12 points in the half. And Vegas a 7-point lead. Stay tuned for the WNBA halftime report presented by State Farm. A special conversation between Kimberly Crenshaw and LaChina Robinson is coming up. Vegas, a 7-point lead over Chicago as we get ready to start the third quarter of action in Bradenton. Ryan Rucco alongside the Hall of Famer Rebecca Lobo. You know, in that first half, Vegas felt like they had control for much of it, but all of a sudden, Courtney Vandersloot able to do some things, get Chicago back into it. Angel McCautry great for Vegas, and Vandersloot great for Chicago.
Angel McCautry continues to be unstoppable and super efficient. Whenever you have more points than you have minutes, you're doing a pretty good job. She's so good off the bounce. There she slices through 3 defenders. Her pull-up game has been on point. And then for Chicago, yes, it always comes down to Courtney Vandersloot. How she is involving her teammates. Beautiful no-look dime to Ruthie Hebert. If you are open, she will find you. 10 assists in that first half for Courtney Vandersloot.
Incredible numbers. Tied a franchise record for most assists in a half, something she has done previously. Her career high for a game is 15. Start of the third quarter, and Asia Wilson can't hit. Vandersloot the rebound.
But I do like that Vegas's first play out of the half is to go to Asia Wilson and to try to get her involved in some space.
McBride's 3 rolls off. And here comes Chicago. Copper the crossover, the kick. Vandersloot connects. And Chicago within 4, the closest they have been in quite some time.
And again, for Chicago, the terrific spacing and Copper getting a touch in the paint off the dribble. and it results in a nice pass out for 3.
And now Vegas turns it over. Copper comes up with it and lays it in. Just like that, it's a 2-point game.
Yeah, great start of the second half for Chicago.
McCautry's 3 won't go. Chicago a chance to tie or take the lead. And if you were fatigued, if you're Chicago, you see that scoreboard get closer and suddenly you feel a little fresher. As Stevens ties it, and a 7-0 burst to begin the third for Chicago. Vegas will take a timeout.
Chicago doing a nice job on the defensive end of the floor, and then offensively they are making the extra pass. Paint touch out to the perimeter. 2 more.
Back, we are all tied up at 46 apiece. The Chicago Sky plan from the beginning of this game was to make things difficult for the Las Vegas Aces star A'ja Wilson, and they have. Just 4 points for this MVP caliber candidate. She's 1 for 5. She does have 6 rebounds, but only 2 free throws. James Wade wanted to swarm her, play 2-on-5, and they're just now bringing Dearica Hamby in from the bench to get a little more energy from the Aces. But A'ja definitely getting frustrated in that last huddle at how difficult things have been tonight.
Chicago's been able to smother her when she catches on the low block, so Vegas has tried to give her space, giving her catches out on, you know, in the mid-range area, but still continuing to struggle to find some space.
And how about, Rebecca, for a team that's not used to necessarily, you know, using that to set up options from the perimeter? How much of an adjustment is that as Copper lays it in on the reverse, and Chicago has its first lead since it was 2-0.
I think that's why you see Dearica Hamby in the game, because if Wilson gets doubled on the block, Hamby is good cutting to the rim, and that's a place where you can find some success.
Foul called against Chicago here.
And Kalia Copper, that's going to be a tough guard for A'ja Wilson, coming out, getting in a stance in the perimeter on a guard, and Copper using her quickness to get to the rim.
Robinson, 10 to shoot. McBride, a good look, but it's blocked. Wilson keeps it alive for Robinson, who buries the jumper. And a big bucket for Vegas to end the 9-0 run to begin this third for Chicago.
Kayla McBride has really been hunting her shots today. 3 for 9.
Dolson dropped it out of bounds. Vegas ball.
It was interesting, Bill Lambier talking to us earlier today about A'ja Wilson and her growing into the leadership role and also the role of a star. And she said she's the one. She's the undisputed one. And he said that's a burden to carry, and she has done a really nice job of it. What a great pass inside. McBride just couldn't finish. Is that Quigley with the block shot?
I think it was, and I think it's number 2 for Quigley.
That's where you can have success. You know, you talked about it. Vegas isn't a team that's going to space you, draw the double team, pass out for a 3, but you can get action cutting through the lane.
Nice play on the inbound, and that's going to be a jump ball. A'ja Wilson not happy about it, but it's going to be a jump ball, and it'll be Wilson and Stevens to jump it up.
Azurá Stevens, James Wade referred to her as a unicorn because she's 6'6" and long. So it's a different kind of defender than many of the other players in the league because she's agile and quick, but she also has that size and length.
And Chicago wins the tip. Here's Vandersloot dragging out McCautry, using the screen from Stevens. Hits her in the lane, and Stevens throws it away. Robinson has incredible speed and bursts to the rim, just blew the bunny. What a find. Vandersloot to Quigley, now Copper, no. And the rebound will tilt out of bounds to Las Vegas.
Well, guys, it's really interesting to me that Chicago has tied this game 4-8 apiece without their very active, very big and physical post player, Cheyenne Parker, who's not playing tonight with a right ankle injury. They have been able to hold up inside against this good interior of the Las Vegas Aces. And it's very interesting. As you said, Azurá Stevens, the unicorn, she's been able to be strong inside, but also productive from outside.
Yeah, it's a good point, Holly, especially the first player from Chicago that Bill Laimbeer mentioned to us was Cheyenne Parker, and what a hard, big body she was for his team to deal with. As Copper hits another jumper.
And Cheyenne Parker brings great size. She can score inside, but she can also step out and shoot threes.
Jackie Young in for Vegas. Wilson the deep catch, and gets fouled by Stevens, who was not happy with the call, and you see Cheyenne Parker not happy with the call either.
That's a rare deep catch for A'ja Wilson on that last possession. Nice duck in as the offense was on the right side of the floor.
Looked like Cheyenne needed to grab the little foam roller there to express her displeasure with the call.
It's like a stress ball?
Yeah. You ever, you get real frustrated with Steve and you just take the foam roller to your calf for a minute, you know? I'll come back in when this knot is gone. A'ja Wilson hits 1 of 2. 5 points now for Wilson to go with 7 rebounds, 4 assists, and 3 blocks. So she's filled up other columns, even though A'ja has not had her typical scoring night thus far. Diamond DeShields in for Chicago. DeShields, a little better burst there from Diamond DeShields. As she hasn't been right physically still, dealing with a myriad of things, but the legs has been the biggest issue of late, James Wade talking about. But DeShields continues to want to be out there for her team, even though she's not 100%.
Yeah, really nice job there. She went away from where the screen was set to have the clear lane to the basket. But yeah, we're used to seeing her soar, and we see it in stretches, but not in the consistent large number of minutes that we're used to, just because she's not 100%.
DeShields hits 1 of 2, tied at 51. Vegas led essentially exclusively in the first half. They led for all but 26 seconds of it and had a double-digit lead for a while, a 7-point lead for the most part. Foul called against Hebert. But Chicago has come out of the gates in the third strongly, quickly eliminated a 7-point halftime deficit, and it's tied at 51 halfway through the third. Robinson threw it too low for Wilson. And nice dive up ahead to DeShields, running for the layup for Chicago. And the Sky bench celebrates. Chicago back in front. Rogers corner 3, off the mark.
Rogers out there for 2 reasons. 1, to shoot threes, and 2, to give space for A'ja Wilson inside. Okay,
how about Diamond?
DeShields, we see ya.
That's a good sign for Chicago. Diamond DeShields suddenly finding some energy and rhythm. Not a good pass from Robinson. Here's Wilson drawing 2, 4 to shoot. Young from 10, too strong, loose ball. And a foul called against Jackie Young. And it's gonna go the other way.
Diamond DeShields is such a phenomenal athlete who can run the floor. We've seen that in finishing. And then here in the secondary, pulling up for the 3. Coming in off the bench now, providing a burst of offense for Chicago.
That's the diamond Chicago will need to go deep in the playoffs. Vandersloot cross court, DeShields, not that time. Here's Danielle Robinson.
So last possession, Chicago was able to play off Jackie Young and continue to help inside because she's not a perimeter threat from three.
Hamby, nice fake, the rejection inside from Stevens, but Swords there to clean it up.
Swords knows her role. She leads the Vegas Aces in offensive rebounds per game, using her size on the offensive end.
Quigley switched on Swords, gets space, and that's going to be a foul against Danielle Robinson. Third team foul against Vegas.
What's the difference?
Come on, good job. Hey, good way to beat this one.
Stevens will check out. She's played impactful minutes tonight. Vandersloot turning the corner and laying it in. 7 points, 11 assists for Courtney Vandersloot.
Go, 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 go. Go, get ready, go down.
Hamby doubled. Rogers finds Robinson, not much of a threat from three. She will take and take that play-by-play announcer.
But if you're Chicago, you're happy with that. The more threes you get Danielle Robinson to take, the happier you're going to be.
She's career just 12% from three.
It's the first one she's made this season.
And a foul called against Chicago on that down court feed. Diamond to Shields hit with the personal.
Chicago has had success this game when they've taken care of the basketball and when they have limited Vegas's attempts at the free throw line.
Bill Lambier thinks it should have been a shooting foul.
I kind of do too.
I don't know if she had possession of the basketball yet on the pass.
Okay.
So I think that's why it can't be. Robinson is going to get a shooting foul now, which gives us a chance to check in with Holly Rowe.
Well, guys, you're seeing kind of a special reunion tonight. Diamond DeShields and Dearica Hamby are actually like sisters. Dearica lived with Diamond and her family when she went to Norcross High School in Georgia to play basketball there, and they have stayed very close. In fact, they're letting Dearica's little girl, Amaya, stay up late tonight and be here at this game, even though we're a little late. Amaya's here with me. She's coloring. We're keeping her entertained as she colors. Amaya, can you say hi?
I did it.
Can you say hi? Did you do it?
Hi.
Are you staying up late tonight to watch Auntie Diamond?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Dearica said that her daughter could stay up because it's important that she gets to be here and support Diamond as well.
Oh, Holly, that is just a beautiful story. And Amaya could be the cutest child on the planet.
It could be.
Oh, my gosh.
And how about Holly Rowe? She's throwing parties for support staff in the bubble. You know she's helping babysit right now while she's also giving us first-class reporting.
And Amaya seeing herself on the screen waving. Oh, hi, Amaya. What a cutie. Dolson hits the three. 61-58, Chicago in front. Chicago now just 6 of 18 from three, but Dolson is 3 of 5.
No back door. Coming that side. Coming that side.
James Wade saying no back door. Jackie Young leans in and doesn't get the roll. But Chicago's played nice D on Vegas, taking away what they do well. Hebert popped it up too strong, but was fouled by Hamby, and a late whistle that draws the ire of Las Vegas.
Really nice corner action by Chicago that time, and Ruthie Hebert at Oregon was involved in a lot of pick and rolls and slipping screens going to the basket when she played with Sabrina Ionescu, and now she's playing with Hallie Quigley and Courtney Vandersloot, who can handle that role very well themselves.
So Hebert will shoot 2, by the way. Vandersloot 12 assists now. Her career high is 15. Fans can cheer on their team using Tap to Cheer in the WNBA app. Aces and Sky fans already have 603,715 total taps for this game. And the team with the most taps at the end of the game wins. Go to WNBA.com to check the leaderboard and see how your team stacks up against the rest of the league.
That's a good number of taps for a Tuesday night on ESPN2. We're going to get over that million mark by the time the playoffs hit.
No doubt. We'll have every playoff game on our ESPN family of networks. Rogers cuts through the D, squeezes it to the corner, 3 to shoot. Young's gonna have to, does, can't hit. Another strong defensive possession from Chicago.
Their team defense has been really, really strong, in particular in the second and third quarters.
You wonder how long Vegas can go without Angel McCautry, who they're very conscious of minutes.
A'ja Wilson as well. She's been getting some rest.
Good hands by Hamby, and it's out of bounds off of who? And it was a shot clock violation regardless of who it was out on. So it's going to be Vegas ball. About a 10-second difference game in shot clock.
Here we go, no fouls, no fouls, no fouls. Way to keep talking, way to scramble.
That's what defense is.
Okay.
Especially when you're helping inside. It's a lot of communication, and when you're out of your rotation, just scrambling to make it hard on the offense.
Well, Chicago has outscored Vegas by 11 in the quarter. You see the difference in shooting numbers as Young can't hit the jumper. Those have been falling of late for Jackie Young, but she is 1 of 9 tonight from the floor.
Chin up, chin up, chin up. Don't get down it, chin up, get up.
Slight difference, game and shot clock. Diamond, pull-up jumper is good. Diamond to Shields, looks like Diamond to Shields tonight. As that half-court heave nearly banks in, but Chicago outscores Vegas by 13 in the third. And Diamond to Shields with a big-time quarter, putting up 8. This is what Chicago needs. De Shields running and finishing from deep. We go to the fourth.
Superstar, baby. Yeah, just keep on shining like a superstar, baby.
Lead the Las Vegas Aces 64-58. We just spoke with Allie Quigley at the break. Unfortunately, our microphone didn't work, but I'll paraphrase what she said for you. She said to close out this win, they've got to take care of the basketball and not allow points in the paint. And when I let her know that her wife, Courtney Vandersloot, has double-digit assists, she said, I'm not surprised. I didn't know she had that many, but that's what she does. She just knows how to find us.
I mean, it's incredible. First of all, it's just awesome seeing the couple married and on the same team. Secondly, it is incredible the consistency with which Courtney Vandersloot racks up assists at a historic pace when it comes to the history of this league.
And it'll be interesting to see what happens here without her on the floor. Chicago has struggled at times this season when Sloot has not been in the game.
Wilson is fouled, and
Foul on the sky, number 24, Ruthie Hebert, her third.
that is going to be on Ruthie Hebert. You see a season-high 12 assists for Vandersloot. Her career high is 15. Interesting thing Holly talked about Allie Quigley's keys. Vegas scored just 4 points in the paint in that third quarter as McBride hits the jumper.
Well, that's all because of Chicago's defense.
Yeah.
They are really overloading in the paint, keeping the ball out of A'ja Wilson's hands. That's why important right now. Lindsey Allen on the floor. She's the perimeter player for Vegas who's been consistent from the outside with her shot.
2 of 2 from deep in this game. And Sydney Colson hits the jumper.
There you go. You want production from the point guard spot when Sloot's on the bench? That's a start.
Wilson raises up, gets it blocked by Stevens. Been a frustrating game thus far on the offensive end for A'ja Wilson. She's 1 of 7 as Copper can't spin it in.
And Ryan, we showed you at the top of the show, A'ja Wilson being able to score over really good defense, but that defense wasn't 6'6" and long like Azurá Stevens is.
Foul called against Diamond to Shields. And this is something to watch now. That is the 3rd team foul against Chicago already in this 4th quarter. So they have just one more before they're going to put Vegas at the line. And Vandersloot right back in for the Sky. Here's McBride giving it up. Allen back to McBride. Her jumper won't go. Copper the rebound. Colson able to grab or make that Stevens. Vandersloot hits the three. The lead has exploded to 9 for Chicago.
Do you know how hard that catch was to make by Azurá Stevens, then to gather and make the pass? Finally something easy for A'ja Wilson, a back screen. I don't know if it wasn't called miscommunication by Chicago, but finally something easy for Wilson.
And a good find from Angel McCoughtry. Chicago looking to snap Vegas's 7-game winning streak. Stevens out of the double. Vandersloot hits again from 3. You don't want to leave Courtney Vandersloot to dig down. Vandersloot now 3 of 3 from deep. Wilson got hit and will shoot 2. That's also the 4th team foul on Chicago, so something to watch throughout this quarter as Vegas will shoot free throws the rest of the way.
And we're harping on the defense of Chicago, but so often when we watch Vegas play and we watch A'ja Wilson, even when things aren't easy, they look easy. Nothing has looked easy for her tonight. Working for everything she's getting.
Box out right here, huh?
It's the free throw.
What you got? What you got? Short.
Well, Holly laid out for us the game plan from James Wade, how Chicago was going to load up and just make everybody else on Vegas beat them. So far, that game plan has worked.
Yes.
Angel McCoughtry had a big start to this game, but has been quiet since. And A'ja Wilson has had trouble getting going throughout because of all the attention that has been paid to her.
Jackie Young and Kayla McBride, a combined 5 for 22. If you're going to pack the paint, those two players are going to have to hit from the mid-range.
McBride had been averaging just 7.5 field goal attempts per game this season. She has 13 tonight. The Shields hops into another jumper. What a good sign for Chicago.
She looks really good tonight.
Wilson elevates, can't hit, another tough look. Angel jumps the root on the steal. McCoughtry had it stripped by Vandersloot. What an effort from Courtney Vandersloot and the reaction from the Chicago bench.
Angel McCoughtry so good reading the eyes. She jumps the root, but great hustle by Sloot, and she knows she's not going to block it, so she's going for the steal. Saves the layup.
And then the bucket off the inbound for A'ja Wilson. Ebert's jumper rims out. An opportunity for Vegas. Down 8. 6 minutes to go in the 4th. Aces led by 7 at the half. A'ja Wilson's jumper rolls off. Robinson pokes it out of bounds. And it's Chicago ball. Timeout on the floor. 5:53 to go. Chicago by 8.
ESPN's coverage of the WNBA is brought to you by AT&T 5G and Taco Bell. Order ahead and pick up your favorites at our contactless drive-thru.
May not be retransmitted, reproduced, rebroadcast, or otherwise used in any form without the express written consent of WNBA Enterprises.
Well, everything has been difficult tonight for A'ja Wilson.
It's because Chicago's sending so many bodies to her. Look, surrounded by 4 as she tries to drive the lane. Azurá Stevens, a long defender on her. Help still comes. Then you get a different look defensively. Big and strong Stephanie Dolson, but still, help is coming. There has not been clean looks. There have not been one-on-one opportunities for A'ja Wilson.
Well, A'ja Wilson has been held in check thus far from the Chicago D. Still a lot of time left in this game, though. Sky lead by 8. Tough thing for the Aces when they get down is they don't shoot threes often, so harder to come back as Vandersloot has been a beast tonight. 15 points, 13 assists, 5 rebounds for Courtney Vandersloot. She's 6 of 7 from the floor. A'ja Wilson, a good deep catch, but how about Azurá Stevens holding her ground?
Azurá Stevens has been a terrific defensive matchup on Wilson.
Stevens 3 short. Vegas needs to get it going. Here's McCautry. She can't hit. Vegas as a team shooting it at just 37%. Copper lays it in, and it's all Chicago in this second half. As McCautry gets a whistle and will go to the line.
That's how you settle your team. You're struggling a bit on both ends of the floor. Get to the free throw line. Gives everyone a bit of rest, a chance to collect themselves, to communicate with one another.
A'ja McCautry at the line, shooting 2.
Let's take a look at the upcoming CBS Sports Network national TV schedule. Atlanta at Washington tomorrow night. Doubleheader Thursday, Chicago and the Liberty, Vegas and Connecticut. For more on these games, go to WNBA.com or visit the WNBA app.
Betnijah Laney, what a breakout year she's had this year for Atlanta.
Now, this game seemed totally in the hands of Vegas. They led for all but 26 seconds of the first half. But a 7-0 run to start the third for Chicago to tie the game. And they have not looked back since. Copper flings it out. Stevens off the mark. Good fight from Vandersloot and DeShield. Chicago gets another possession. Vandersloot with 14 assists. Dolson can't hit. Another offensive rebound. The tired legs of Chicago are outgunning Las Vegas right now. Beating the Aces to the spot. McCautry again gets fouled and will shoot 2.
But if you were looking at the second half of this game and you knew that one of these teams was in the midst of a 10 games in 19 days and the other one was coming off of a day off, two days off, you would not think that Chicago is the one in the midst of this ridiculous stretch.
Got to give a lot of credit to James Wade, keeping his group mentally locked in even after they had sort of a sloppy, lackluster start to this game and faced a double-digit deficit, and then coming up with this defensive game plan against A'ja Wilson and Angel McCautry.
Going against some of the best bigs, one of the best bigs in the WNBA, when you yourself don't have one of your prime post players.
Jackie Young checking in for Angel McCautry. Young 1 of 9 from the floor tonight, ending her string of very efficient production. Vegas down 11, still 3 minutes and 12 seconds to go. Young's leaner, way short, follows it up. Robinson carving, flipping, and spinning it in. What beautiful wizardry from Danielle Robinson. Robinson, a bright spot for Vegas today with 13 points and 5 of 7 shooting. Copper spins it in, plus gets the late whistle.
Chicago's done a nice job with this lead at using clock, making Vegas work on the defensive end of the floor. Then the and one. Pretty. Kahleah Copper, one of the most improved players in the WNBA this season, having herself another big night, 18 points. Great athlete, quickness, can get to the rim, has the pull-up game, can shoot threes as well. Headed to the free throw line now, but this young woman really exploding on the scene this season.
And Rebecca, she averaged just 6 points a game last year, but James Wade told her in free agency we could have gone out and got other players, but we believe in you, and his trust and faith has been rewarded. Kahleah Copper has been unbelievable this season, almost doubling her point and rebounding production, and more importantly tonight, 10 points, now 11 points in this second half, really leading the Chicago Sky. It's been fun to watch her start believing in herself and come alive.
She really got an opportunity because of the injury to Diamond DeShields. And it's another one of those instances this season, Ryan, of players getting more opportunity and making the most of it.
You see the increase in points per game from last season to this one. Kahleah Copper, the fourth biggest jump in the WNBA. Maisha Hines-Allen leading that list for Washington. But what a significant piece Copper has become for the Chicago team, and they need her. And a good sign for the Sky that DeShields has looked as good as she has tonight as well.
This is the best we've seen her.
Vandersloot's three, no. Rebound Vegas, still some life here for the Aces. Under 2 minutes to go, down 9. Vegas looking for a bucket here. Asia Wilson. And a foul underneath against Chicago. They're over the limit. So Hamby will go to the line.
Stephanie Dawson saying, I'm not doing anything. She's just falling. I have a feeling she's doing something.
Saturday on ABC and the ESPN app, the top teams in the WNBA square off at 3 Eastern, noon Pacific. Breanna Stewart and the 10-1 Storm have won 8 in a row. They'll take on Asia Wilson and the 8-2 Aces. Vegas has won 7 straight. Should be a great game. Make sure you're with us for that one, 3 Eastern on ABC and the ESPN app on Saturday. 7-point game, still work to be done here for Chicago. Vandersloot, cross court. DeShields, pass knocked out of bounds. 3 to shoot for Chicago.
3 or 4? It was 4. It was 4. It just said 4. Hey, time out. Time out. Time out. Hey, it said 4 seconds and the ball was already, y'all already blew the whistle.
But James Wade thinks the shot clock should be at 4, not 3. As it went out of bounds, it was at 4 and then transitioned to 3. So we'll see if they keep it at 3 or not. 1:31 to go. Big defensive stop Vegas needs as they try and make a charge.
Over the top this way. Bounce it here and you got a shot. Okay?
1:31 to go in the fourth quarter.
Okay, all right. Here we go.
Chicago an 82-75 lead over Vegas. But Vegas with a little burst here. They have scored 4 straight points at the free throw line, and as a result have been able to cut it to 7 without the clock moving much. 3 to shoot here for Chicago. Quigley has to hoist, rejected by Wilson, controlled by Vegas. And you see Bill Lambier upset because he wanted Vegas to be able to try and turn that rejection into a fast break.
Because Chicago's been really good when they've been able to set their defense.
Well, this final minute 28 could be the difference between a haircut or not for Bill Laimbeer. His team hasn't let him get it because of the 7-game winning streak. But if that ends tonight, so too might Shaggy Bill. Hamby drives inside and lays it in. Don't go anywhere. It's a 5-point game. Chicago has played a lot of close games early this season, more than any other team. Copper bodies in, flips it out, 5 to shoot. Vandersloot gets denied, wanted the contact, didn't get it. It's a shot clock violation.
It's not a Vegas-Chicago game if it doesn't come down to the last possession and with less than 10 seconds to go.
5 games this year Chicago's played that has been decided by 3 points or fewer. No other team more than 2. We can see Bill Laimbeer.
If it's not there, attack. You got it?
Debating going for 2 or 3 here, down 5 with 50 seconds to go.
Yeah, you certainly don't need the 3, but if it's there, you take it, and he wants his team to attack. They're so good at getting to the free throw line. If you can get points on the board when the clock's not running, that's a bonus.
They have 22 free throw attempts to Chicago's 5. Into Wilson. McBride, a 3, short. Rebound, McBride, short again. She almost looked stunned and flat-footed on the second attempt after the rebound landed in her lap. And Vegas now down 5 with 33 seconds to go. They're going to try and play this straight up. Chicago winding clock. Dolson, a 3, off the mark. Rebound, Vegas. They've got to hurry. Vegas down 5. McBride hits the 3. It's a 2-point game with 17.7 seconds to go. This is what these two teams do when they meet.
Kayla McBride knew she had to get something up in a hurry. She needed a 3, stop and pop. She missed the previous 2, but not that one. And now there's enough time to go for a steal, foul quickly.
And these teams, when they meet, they play dramatic games. We saw it in the single elimination second round of the playoffs last season when De'Erica Hamby came up with this steal and then hit the 40-footer. It was ill-advised because there was enough time to drive, but it's a shot that will live in Aces history forever. And then the opener of the season, down 2, not any longer. Allie Quigley hitting the 3, turning a 1-point deficit into a 2-point Chicago win and giving the Sky a win in their first contest of the season. Now Vegas down double digits just moments ago. This was an 82-71 lead for Chicago with 2:40 to go. It's suddenly a 2-point game with 17.7 seconds remaining.
So the first thing is getting the ball inbounds cleanly and handling the pressure to a point where you force Vegas to foul you. The turnover was what did it last year that enabled Vegas to have the opportunity to hit that half-court shot.
A 9-0 Vegas run. 17.7 to go. Aces looking for a steal or a quick foul. Chicago with 1 timeout remaining. Vandersloot, yeah, that's exactly who Chicago wants at the line. But Vegas had a foul to give. So there will be another inbound here. And perhaps you'll see Vegas trap Vandersloot rather than foul her this time around.
Yes. Because you have enough time to try to trap or go for a steal on a second pass before you take that foul. Especially because Vegas has 2 timeouts left. where they can advance the basketball.
Conversation here between Mac Callio and Roy Gulbayan. Jeff Wooten, the other official. After the conference, it is a side out of bounds for Chicago. 16.4 seconds to go. They got to fix the shot clock because the shot clock was turned off. So you don't reset it to 14 now.
That would be a bad idea.
Yeah. Or is the shot clock at 14? Shot clock had been turned off with 17.7 seconds to go. They turn it over. McBride misses the layup but is fouled. And Kayla McBride will shoot 2 free throws after Chicago turns it over.
I mean, this is so reminiscent of last year. They had gotten the ball inbounds and then turned it over. Just a bad pass through Courtney Vandersloot's legs. And now Kayla McBride has an opportunity to tie it on the free throw line.
Wow. Deja vu for Chicago. McBride hits the first. A 90% career free throw shooter.
Stevens checking in for the scout.
This is unreal. McBride ties this game at 82. An 11-0 run from Vegas. And it is 82 all with 13.6 seconds to go.
Hey, let's run a
You have to
flash
have a
out.
clean inbounds pass. That is number one. Especially you have a timeout to take if you can't get the ball
We'll get it in like a box
inbounds.
set. All right, then we'll line up. All right, and you come in right here. Which way you want to go? Towards your right? Towards your right? Okay, so you take it out over here, and then we'll run a flash out. So make sure Asia is in the screen, all right? And here, so here we go over, pass it here, hand off, go back to Sloot, and Sloot go downhill, okay?
That's how we're getting in.
Yep.
Getting in with the box.
Set, get it in with the box set. Hey, go at 6, go at 6. Here we go. Here we go.
Number one, got to get the ball in if you're Chicago. You have no timeouts left, and then you hear James Wade say, go at 6. The one thing you do not want to do is give Vegas an opportunity to win this ball game. You have to take the last shot.
Each team over the limit. Vegas 2 timeouts remaining, Chicago none. Vegas on an 11-0 run to tie this game. Chicago ball, 13.6 to go. Here's Vandersloot. Quigley juggled it, hands it off. Back to Vandersloot. 5 to go. Good look inside, and Stevens lays it in. The 15th assist from Courtney Vandersloot. And what a play drawn up by James Wade in Chicago. The Sky lead by 2 with 1.9 to go. Timeout Vegas.
I love that instead of just dribbling the time away, they move the ball side to side, switch the defense, and then there is a back screen by Stephanie Dolson, the slip and the roll by Azarae Stevens, beautifully drawn up and beautifully executed. You know that you're going to draw the defense on the dribble penetration, and that leaves Azarae Stevens on the roll. Wow, what a play.
And now Vegas spends their second to last timeout. They will have 2.9 to operate down to. How does Vegas handle this, Rebecca?
Well, first of all, they got to get the ball in bounds, but they do have a timeout if they can. 2.9 is a fair amount of time. You can catch and dribble and get a shot off. You can catch and make a pass and get a shot off. Angel McCautry has been out of the game for the last 3 minutes. Maybe put her in on this possession. She is really good at hoisting and also creating space for herself.
Vegas ball down 2 2.9 seconds left in the fourth.
Which side you want it on? That side over there.
You could also have a direct entry pass into Asia Wilson and let her operate. That's time for her to have back to the basket.
Plenty of time to attack, Asia.
Plenty of time to attack, Asia, where you can get a dribble and a shot up.
Maybe even draw a foul.
Yes.
Angel McCautry is in, partner. Good call. She will inbound it. Vegas with one timeout remaining. Down 2 after the Azrae Stevens layup that ended the 11-0 Vegas run. Inbound comes to Robinson. She hoists. No good. That will do it. Chicago holds on for an 84-82 win as these two teams keep playing thrillers. And you have to believe that was not the play Bill Laimbeer and the Aces wanted.
Well, considering that Danielle Robinson is not a great three-point shooter, she made one in this game, but had only taken 5 coming into this game. I think they were probably looking for the direct entry into Asia Wilson.